Hello, my name is Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Path of Exile Archnemesis League 3.17. In this episode, I'm going to be going over 6 builds. This is the updated for the mid-season for 3.17 budget build for Carrion Golem with everything we've learned for the whole season. Now that I've finished the build, I have the final build guide out. I also made the budget thing, so we have level 67 budget build, budget plus 10x. Budget plus 10x plus 50x, budget plus, then 100% spell suppression, brass dome, adding a Mageblood and the goodie, scaling it all the way up from level 67. I hope you guys enjoy the very comprehensive build guide. If you've ever gotten to level 67, then like the video. And if you're new to the channel and you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Let's get 150 likes in 2 days on this video. Thank you guys for all the support. This video is probably one of my best in the last few months. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys really enjoy the budget builds. Alright, let's get into the 6 POBs. So you already know that this is going to be a lot, so let's not delay. Okay, so the 67, this is what it looks like. This is the tree. You can tell no clusters, just jewel sockets pretty much. 1.4 mil DPS is more than my budget build at like a 90 something. So it has some big fucking deeps for how low level it is. And then the couple things I'll say is it has Assassin's Mark, and it has an Animate Guardian. And then the Animate Guardian, I have the notes here. So this is all the information you need on the Animate Guardian so that you can get the extra curse. So it's a Windscream boot, plus 1 curse. It gives 15 Ellie res, which means you have to get 12 extra and 2 chaos res, because we use Grave Intentions in Dom Army. Easy. For the weapon, glove, you use Vulnerability Curse on hit. Weapon, it could be Relentless Fury, Culling Strike, or Kingmaker if you want to spend more, but this is the level 67 cheap. So let's say Relentless Fury. And then let's say some random shield to keep him alive, or intimidate, hunter, influence weapon, chance to intimidate on hit. You can go for a body armor, garb of the ephemeral, or an explode chestplate, or impulsa, or there's also a redeemer chestplate where nearby enemies are blinded. Then an impulsa only really works if you use skitterbots, which isn't until my budget build, when we get Ashes of the Stars. And the other thing is, for the helmet, you can do Lyric Cast or an Elder Helmet with item level 85 plus nearby enemies take 9% increased physical damage. So, if you use Windscream and have this 15 LE res, then all you need is 12 extra LE res and 2 chaos res on the rest of the gear, and he's safe. With what I do and leveling them up and using the cold iron points and having them extra levels. So this is 2 cold iron points, the golem jewels, and you're already able to swap into Carrion Golem, and it's already pumping more damage than my League Start Skelly build at 67. It's really strong because you've actually scaled the levels with the cold iron points, which you can't do for the skeletons. The skill gems level, I just kept it really basic for the beginning because it's only 67, so even the gems technically are too high of a level, but don't worry about that. So 20, Carrion Golem, Brutality, Minion Damage, Melee, Fizz, Multi-Strike, Ruthless. Then we have Helmet, Race, Spectres, Zombie, Feeding Frenzy, Animate Guardian. I used to recommend Maim, no more Maim, just AG, simple. And then Phase Run, Increased Duration, Efficacy, Val Molten Shells. So I still do this in the early levels because we won't have the alternate quality dash, we won't have the Watcher's Eye for haste, we won't have, like, the Quartz Flask is nice, but I want both for more consistency. Then Weapon, Determination, Vitality, Pride, doesn't matter. 20 quality on the Pride for the extra AoE, the area of effect. This linked together in this order: Desecrate, Flesh Offering, Life Tap. Doesn't matter about the order yet because you don't have the trigger wand, but yeah, you Desecrate, then you Flesh Offer, and it costs life instead of mana. Cast and Death, Portal, because when you're mapping in the beginning, completing your Atlas, dying, Walk of Shame, saves you tons of time. I promise it's worth it. This is actually OP. Because you can't use it in Heist, you can't use it in Delve, you can't use it in tons of the places in the game. It's OP in mapping. In softcore. Flame Dash, then Dread Banner, Generosity. We don't have alternate quality, and then Assassin's Mark. Easy start, and it's already 1.4 million damage. Pretty good life, and the golems and minions are gonna live. Next, you get into the budget build. So what happens here in the budget build is I was trying to compare and compete against my normal standard budget build, so I tried to keep it still pretty basic. So as you can see, level 20s. So it's supposed to be like the 67, but it's 92 scaled up, you know, a little bit more, but it's still the budget where you don't spend basically anything. So just level 20 gems. I'll only explain the differences. This isn't even the Ami. Okay. So it's 92. You get up to 49 life. We have 2.4 million damage from 1.4. We have 16,000 armor without flasks. We were able to get an extra eminence in the build, and the accuracy 4300, which is already like basically endgame viable, and 33 impale. So this would already do really well, and your minion survivability is going to be decent because I put in an Elder Helmet with minion life, and then it's just a corrupted 6-link chestplate, and it's just some generic gear to get your LE res, your chaos res, your life, your attributes, you know, the endurance charges that we try to get, the minimum endurance charges. This still doesn't even have an anoint, because an anoint is a gold oil. So this is pretty much just 2 cold iron points and the golem jewels, and it's just scaling the build from the 67 to the 92. And look, 2.4 million damage. We used to do like 1.2, so I got double the damage of our old budget build for basically the same cost. So I like that. Next, we add 10x to the budget build, so it changes quite a bit. You got to do some regrets. You're 95 now instead of 92. You gained more armor. What the fuck happened? 2.4 went to 9 million damage. So, let me explain. Ashes of the Stars. Anointed. 30 quality to all skills. This is it. This is the big shebang, dude. You put this in, and then the res, and changing the tree so that you get the extra reservation so you can fit skitter bots, and then you do the alternate quality skitter bots with the anomalous for the AoE, so now everything's shocked. Then you can do this with the Impulsa Animate Guardian, so you have Explode Animate Guardian without using the Crusader chestplate. Then we get the big AoE on the auras from the quality. You can do Anomalous Assassin's Mark, which is big damage, increased damage. This is where you do the alternate quality Dread Banner, and you get the Impale chance. You could also do the alternate quality Generosity if possible to get the AoE, of course. Alternate quality Flesh Offering for the extra attack speed. You get the Divergent Dash instead of the phase run, so that you get the phasing for 5 seconds. And then you can also go Anomalous Animate Guardian for the increased AoE. And then the level 21 Carrion Golem. This is a huge upgrade. So this one I added Ashes of the Stars and 21, because in the budget it was 28. And it was missing 2 levels from the level 30, which is a huge power spike. So, like, as you can see, 2 million per, 1.86 on 1 level. It's massive, 10% more damage in 1 level, and then got them to 30 off just that level and the Ashes of the Star, and that's a huge upgrade. And then I upgraded to non-corrupted 6-link, and we did a +3 helm instead of the minion life Elder Helmet, because this way I could get the extra levels on the Spectre and the Zombie, so I get an extra Zombie and I get an extra Spectre, which helps me get the extra power charges, because we'll have 2 Carnage Chieftains, 2 Host Chieftains. Be able to simplify it. You get the extra Spectre at level 25, so technically I only need 2 levels from the helmet, and I technically could get 1 level on the Spectre, then I only need 1 level from the helmet, but more levels is more life and more survivability, so it's really not that bad either, and more levels on the zombies is more damage, so it's all good. And then it's extra survivability for the zombies, the Animate Guardian, and the Spectres. It's pretty good. So yeah, we were able to get the deeps up to 9 million. This amulet, the alternate quality gems, is so disgusting. And then we technically have more consistent damage too, because of the extra Spectre and the extra zombie and the more minions, and you know, all of the quality of life shit we have. And then we have a longer phase run too, phasing, and the better dash. And then we were able to free up all that space, allowing the skitter bots and all this, and running the change in the build. But we're a little bit squishier, but big damage. Next one, 50x added. What did you do, Ethan? Okay, so wands, clusters, extra jewels, and then it's pretty much the same. So, but now it's 23.8 million damage. It's a little bit squishier, but dude, the deeps, it's unimagined. So when you get to do this, you free up all of this. You can still get the accuracy through the precision. You do your aura stuff through this way, and then we do this, and then this keeps the minions alive with the 2 mediums, with the 2 renewal and the 2 dread marches. It doesn't even have anything on the mediums, and then or the large, and then the large is a renewal, running claws, vicious bite. It's just good. It's just really good. And then the other thing I wanted to show was the wand. I did a +2 with minion damage, so you could get the trigger. This was literally just so you could get trigger, and then this one's multi, so it's the annulled prefix and then multi. This is easier than the getting the minion damage, obviously, but it doesn't have a fracture. It doesn't have anything crazy. This isn't the crit multi. This isn't aggressive. This is just trying to be normal. And then the trigger, that's trying to be an Ashling Veil, but it shows up as a craft in the POB, so I just want to warn about that. But I wanted to be able to show you going from cold armor points into ones and getting trigger, and 4-second trigger is way better than 8-second trigger, and then you can just craft a tank speed to keep it simple. And in this case, instead of trying to hit this again, you could just have an open prefix where you do craft of minion damage, and you can actually do a different craft where you go for minion damage more likely with using like bound fossils when you craft. And then I also showed the minion damage, Searing Exarch implicit through the new influence, and the boots have brittle ground, but I didn't enable the brittle in the POB. And then it says Searing Exarch is brittle, grand is 4 seconds. That's pretty decent. Life regen is the Eater of Worlds. That's also grand. Regen is from the lab enchant, boot enchant from lab. And then this glove enchant, extra minions when they kill. And then it's just life reses, etc. I realized I never went over any of the flasks in any of it, but we also upgraded. Oh god, was that in the last one too? Yeah, I forgot to show it. In the budget 10x, budget plus 10x, I had Awakened Gem. No, I didn't. Wait, did I skip one? No, I did it all in the 50x. Okay, yeah. Straight up Awakened Gems. This is where we added Awakened Gems too. I feel like I was missing one. I had one in between. Yeah, I had an in between, I think, that didn't have Awaken multi, and now this one does. Hold up. I think I can save this. 10x. Awakened Gems. It should be this one. I can save this. We'll back on that. New import. Let's do this live with the straight up. It'll have no Awaken multi. Yeah, I did it. Okay, I have another version. What's this one? Missing Awakened multi and the wands. Perfect. So this was like budget. I had another one. Budget plus 10x plus like 30x or like 20x, and then the plus 50. So this doesn't have the plus 50 yet. So this isn't the wands and the Awaken multi. I had an in between. I knew it, dude. Okay, sorry. The in between is 15.7. So let me now take you back. We had the budget plus 10x, which was 9. It did have skitter bots already, and you already have the explode, but it didn't have Awaken Gems, you see? So then we go budget plus 10x plus 20x, you get some of the Awaken Gems. Awaken Brutality, Awaken Melee, Awaken Minion Damage. So Awaken Brutality is cool because of the crush. I'll show you that here. 15.8, 15.1 to 15.7, and the Intimidate is Awaken Melee Physical. And then awaken minion damage is +1 level extra. Then we also had the Skitterbots, Awakened Unbound Ailments, and I didn't do the wands yet, and this is where I had switched the helmet so that the Spectres are more consistent without, like, you have an extra Spectre and you have an extra zombie, so you have extra minions, and I had already swapped to the no corrupted chest plate, and I added extra mods in some of the gear to make some of this possible, and yeah, there was it didn't have the extra thing yet, and I already have the extra eminence. This was the middle ground, so 15.7. Then this is showing that you could go for the cheaper Awakened Gems first, and then how big of an upgrade Awakened Multi is. This is the point of this. Okay, so I will spend less time on this because I've already shown it, obviously. But this is Awakened Multi, and the wands. So clearly you could use just the cold iron. That's why that version was so important. You can use just the cold iron points and no awaken multi, and it's still 15.7 million damage. Extra million. Okay, big fucking damage. Yep. It is pretty good. The wands are nice, yes, and the extra zombie and Spectre survivability, and then these are even, you could take them even further with the fractured mod and having the crit multi, and of course, dude, of course, but those cold iron points are pretty good. So I spent long enough on that version. Let's go to the next one. You won't believe this one. It says 100% spell suppression brass dome. Yep, so 3500 life. Could have more without the brass dome, because, you know, there are some other chest plates here to show you another option, I believe. Yeah, +1 active. 3860, and you still have the +1. But anyways, it's a +1 brass dome, like I had done. And then it's the wands, but then you get +3 spell suppression, res, and or Dreadband or Artifact, or you could do Carrion Golem damage. You get spell suppression as the implicit, spell suppression because it's a evasion base, then dex, life, chaos res, craft and minion damage, open prefix. This one's spell suppression, life, cold res, chaos res, move speed, and then cannot be frozen because you don't have to do a flask. The Ashes of the Stars, of course, and then we have unset rings, strength, life, lightning res, and endurance charge. Then we have life, fire res, lightning res, endurance charge, Stygian Vice, strength, life, chaos res, cold and chaos. And because you can't get the strength on the evasion bases, you can't get the evasion on the Stygian Vice. Just a warning. Ghastly Eye Jewel finally has extra minion attack speed instead of just minion damage. You could also do minion attack speed if they've killed recently, but this one is usable in bosses where there's nothing to kill. Then I added extra LE res here, extra chaos and LE res here, because it was actually pretty hard to cap the LE reses. I realized also that I could have, instead of taking the mana here on the tree, you could get mana on this gear. Like, I believe technically if you got lucky, can you get mana here? Yeah, you can get mana on the Stygian Vice, and I know you can get mana on the Unset Ring. But I didn't want to bank on you having that. I just wanted to a guaranteed easy. I chose this. Look at the mana it gives you from 28 to 81 for 2 points. Fuck it, dude. It was easy, makes everyone's life easier who tries to play it. There's already enough problems, like things that they're going to have to worry about, like the attributes and the reses, and at least I could save one of them. Mana. Fuck, man. And then technically you could get extra spell suppression here. Dex turns into spell suppression. You could pick spell suppression, which makes you not have to get maybe tier 1 of the spell suppressions, which could be easier. You could get slightly higher on the glove implicit. Instead of 9, it can go up to 12. It's mediocre at best. And like this amount of points to path this, you could do intuitive leap instead, and you save a bunch of points if you wanted to put it into spell suppression as well. But this version is rocking a 26.4 with spell suppression and the brass dome. It has all the minion survivability, so it's taking the big fat damage and becoming tankier and showing you a viable way of how to do it. And it's not the only way, because I've already shown that you don't need a brass dome, and then I especially showed this, and then especially it could be a +1 active skill gems evasion base where you get spell suppression, and it makes spell suppression easier and you save points again. This build's sick. Next one, we have adding the Mageblood. At this point I wrote down pretty much, oh yeah, there's also notes throughout all of this. Every single POB has notes. I have the Animate Guardian guide and the Uber Animate Uber Endgame Animate Guardian Explode AG guide. But then I've, for every single POB, I wrote down the actual upgrades I made, like the things I changed. Because I told you there's like 6 POBs, so I have 6 different notes, and then they're all in the final ones. So the Mageblood, here you go. And then, so this one says Mageblood and goodies. And I wrote here, this is probably where I would be farming for a Mageblood. This is with the last version. That one with the brass dome and the spell suppression. You'd probably go for a Mageblood at this point, rather than farming something else. It's probably the biggest upgrade you could make. It's pretty worth it. And then either instead of these upgrades or alongside or right after getting the spell suppression, etc., the brass dome is a nice upgrade for tankiness. So maybe you avoid spell suppression, you just go straight for Mageblood then. I don't know. But anyways, with Mageblood, 32 million, you have LE Flask with brass dome, with 80 reses, with 33,000 armor, 21,000 evasion, yeah, the 32 million damage, 3,300 armor, 3,300 life. This is still brass dome. So I showed how to scale into my final build, obviously. It doesn't even have the fractured ones. It's missing mods on gear, so it kind of makes it easier. I went for basic shit. There's literally no res on any gear. There's no res on any flat clusters. It's just attributes. And then you use a small for reservation, a small cluster, which is usually like 6.5x or something. So I kept it pretty simple. I was just adding the Mageblood, working in the flask, then making all of the items easier and showing how the Mageblood isn't just being tankier, it also makes gearing the rest of the shit easier. So actually, if you had done this before getting the spell suppression and the brass dome, it's actually easier to make the rest of the shit possible, because it just frees up all that res. You don't get bogged down by elemental res. Mageblood, and then flasks are finally actually reliable too. Yeah, huge upgrade. Oh, and then at this point I did the intuitive leap jump too. I said save the extra points, why not? Get the extra grace reservation. So we're running grace at this point with the Mageblood because we freed up slots. So we were able to get determination, pride, grace with enlightened 4. And then the extra reservation here and the extra small cluster, it was enough to be able to run grace and still have an extra 95 mana, which is enough because we life tap half the shit. And then everything is still good. You have all your awakened gems, and then you can scale it into our god tier endgame build. But this, I also put the Forbidden Flesh, Forbidden Flame, showing you could get elements, you're getting an extra golem, and how I put the stone golem in the build. You even had the slot for the extra stone golem with the alternate quality for the buff effect, and having, instead of 5 golems, 5 Carrion Golems, this is only 4 actually of the 5. So this 32 million could actually have been 5 Carrion Golems, but I said fuck that shit, I'm going to do 4, and I'm going to use the stone golem in this Mageblood version already to show people that they could get the 1235 region without the Bottled Faith enabled, and then this stone golem, it says 574, which is like, that's a lot of the regen in a single. Wow, that's pretty good, dude. And then like I show, so that's half my regen, but the chaos golem, I'm just gonna show this, the chaos golem is not. Look at this. It won't show it because I'm already at 90 because the enemy isn't hitting for a big enough physical hit to delete my goddamn physical damage reduction enough. I have too much armor, I can't see it. Okay, dude, I give up. I'll fucking give up, dude. GG. Either way, though. Oh, that was with the Chaos Golem. I would be able to see it, actually. Let me one more time. I believe. You just have to believe. Okay, 76, and this is what the Chaos Golem adds. It adds 13%. This is exactly what I said before, so I'm glad that it was consistent. Otherwise, I would have looked silly, and I made you wait for this. It was worth it. So yeah, if you get the Chaos Golem, I think it's 20... Let me just check. 22, I think, was my guess. But now I'm okay. 21, 22. At 22, which is such a weird number, it gets the 5% physical damage reduction, and it's like some high level to get the next one. By the way, it's not worth it. But 5%, and then with our buff effect, this goes up to the 13%, and this was consistent with my endgame build too. I just don't think that's enough. Where scaling this flat regen and getting 574 is insane, dude. It feels so good. Oh, I guess I was missing the Chaos Golem alternate. Is that it, dude? Oh shit, 50% buff effect on it. How much does it give me now? That is a lot of physical damage reduction. How much do I do with 3? I know, guys. We're doing this live. What happened to my damage? What happened to my damage? Oh, the 100 deli. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? How bad would it be with 3? And then a Chaos Golem. He'd be like immune. He'd be like immune though. It's actually fucked up. And then... Why doesn't that work? What? Okay, it's not that big then. The buff effect isn't that big. So it's still like the 14% or whatever that I was. Okay, now we're full circle. I would prefer the extra damage. It's just not worth because you're not only weak to physical, you're not, it's not the only, like, there's still elemental, there's still chaos, and you have so much armor. It is good for the bleed, but I just don't think it's necessary, especially now that we started to use the left click bone armor that removes bleeding every 3 seconds and makes us immune to bleeding for 3 seconds. So it's like huge safety, and you don't have to worry about like having a flask to remove bleeding and having to get kills to get the flask charges to remove bleeding. It's in a really good spot. So I don't think that physical damage reduction is as necessary, and I would rather the extra Chaos Golem, Carrion Golem, and get the extra damage. Where the Stone Golem, this regen is all of the damage. All damage, because it's life, and it's, yeah, way, way better. Like I said before, if that damage reduction was 13% all damage reduction, that'd be insane. That'd probably be broken. Because the fact that it's good enough, or be good enough with just the physical, yeah, so I don't know how they would change that other than changing the numbers, I guess, to buff it up, because they'd probably want to keep it physical. But I can't see the current, unless I got more buff effect, like I was elementalist. But even then, yeah, it's pretty good for physical. I just can't see doing it. All right, yeah. So this was all the versions I made. Take you all the way up from 67. All the way through the budget 10x, the budget 20x, the budget 50x, the 100% spell suppression brass dome, then adding a Mageblood. Now you guys can do this as well. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope this is exactly what you guys were looking forward to. I hope this hope this helps you play the Carrion Golems. I hope this helps you progress. I hope this taught you something. And I definitely recommend referencing the Animate Guardian video, and then reference the note section of each POB to see the changes. And this shows you all the progression from the beginning all the way. And then obviously some of this might be like subject to change based on prices, because if this then becomes the meta, then the prices might be more expensive for the things that are earlier on in the guides, but then some of these later upgrades could be just as impactful for their price if everyone's doing the previous things and not doing the later thing. You know what I'm saying? Either way, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this shit. I'll leave all the POBs in the description below. And yeah, let's try to get 150 likes in 2 days on this video. Thank you guys for all the support. And if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And coming up, we have a controller. I'll be trying to beat every boss, play the game with a controller. It's pretty interesting. It's completely different UI. It's really weird. It actually has different functionality than the normal game. Like, for example, I can move a Blight map in the Blight tab. You can't do that. I can. Controllers are fucking OP. I'll show you how it's done. I'll beat all the bosses. And it has proximity looting. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys are looking forward to the controller. Subscribe if you guys are new so you don't miss that. And thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!